Welcome back to another episode of the Nintendo Rewind. I'm Cody Christian, and I'm joined by my current co-host, Chris Becker. We're rewinding and recapping last week for Nintendo, talking about all of the exclusives that we have not yet had the chance to talk about. That's everything from Nintendo Switch to Welcome Tour, all the way up to Duskbloods, coming from the Elden Ring and Dark Souls devs from Software. But before we do any of that, and let me tell you, if you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to make sure that you hit that like button, you say hi to us, you let us know that you're here, you let us know that you've been here, and if you're watching on Twitch, know you're our favorite child. But before we dive in, how's it going, Christopher?
Oh, it's going well. It's currently going well. How's it going with you?
It's currently going well too. It's currently going well.
Yeah. Currently.
I've had a day of pretty much just laying in bed because I felt unwell most of the day. But beyond that, it's been pretty good. It feels like it's not been that long since we were last live on this channel. I think Thursday was when our last show was, and now we're back again on Tuesday. It's so weird because it feels like there's not enough time for any news to happen, but we do have news. We'll fabricate some news if we need to. We'll start making up news.
We'll just sit there with the Switch 2 in our house and wait for the day one update,
Dude, can we talk about that? I know, that's not in our extra news section, but So I was scrolling threads, and I saw somebody had posted that there was a person that has a Nintendo Switch 2 already in their possession, but it's locked behind a day one patch update, so you can't do anything on it.
Yeah, so they can't even play games on it.
That's honestly genius from a launch standpoint to keep things from ever getting leaked. But that does bring into question, what is it going to be like on day one when it actually hits? Are we going to be fighting with servers trying to just get our patch installed so that way then we can install a game so we can then play a game?
Yeah. I would suggest getting Delta Ruin and the Welcome Tour Get those downloaded first, because
Yep.
then you can play those while Mario Kart downloads.
I'll be right on that. Actually, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, best unsung gem out of all the day one downloads, 100%, $9.99. Go get it and review it highly, so that way I don't get absolutely slayed in our fantasy critic that we're
Give it
that we're
a 4
doing.
or 5.
You stop it! You stop it right now! No, I just that's so crazy to me that those have hit the way that they have, and I never expected them to have a day one patch to stop things from happening, because they've never been able to do it in the past. I suppose. I mean, maybe they could have with Switch 1, but they didn't, as far as I know. I didn't get my Switch 1 early though, so I don't know. I did. Okay, so I was working at GameStop at the time when it came in.
Here we go.
And
Why are we whispering all of a sudden? What
'cause
happened?
I don't want anybody to get in trouble. I don't want to be hunted down. But I was working at GameStop and we got our shipments in, and I opened the box when it came in because I was working there. I opened the box of the one that I had pre-ordered because I was able to pre-order one, and opened the box. I turned it on. I listened to the startup sound, and I immediately turned it all back off. So I didn't check to see if anything else could be done on it, but that was like 2-3 days in advance at that point. Like I was stoked to actually see it. I felt like one of the first people in the world beyond Nintendo's 4 walls to actually see it a little bit early, do the startup, and the noise that it made with the like fanfare that it does, where it's like da 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 as it powers on. It was so freaking cool.
Yeah.
It was so freaking cool. But I didn't check to see if it was locked behind a day one update. That's so crazy. Kiatic in the live stream here saying, please, please, please don't miss this up, Purelator and Canadian Post Strike. I wish you the greatest luck. On the bright side, if it does come late, maybe you'll avoid all of the early traffic of everybody trying to install their software update. I don't know if that's a plus side or not.
Not a positive. No, I'd rather have it and then not be able to play it than not.
That's true. It's totally fair. Oh man.
I mean, the Wii U was the same way. You needed to update the Wii U
to be able to use it.
Yeah.
Could you update the Wii U though? With so currently the way they made that sound is the day one patch is not available to download.
Right. Well, I don't know that there was any. I don't know that there was any reports of people getting it early. Although the day one patch, if they are getting some people the system early, they might start rolling the day one patch out 2 days early or something.
Everybody stay tuned. We've got a little over a week
I'm sure
until
we'll
release.
find out on Twitter or wherever as soon as it happens.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Threads everywhere. The entire internet. YouTube videos will be posted about it.
Mm-hmm. Somebody gonna be already playing Mario Kart World like 3 days in advance.
They're gonna somehow be able to tell us, who's developing.
Mario Kart World.
Yeah, the X. What is it?
We actually know who's doing Mario Kart World already.
No, yeah, we know who's doing Mario Kart World, but we don't know who's doing the
Drag X Drive.
Drag X Drive. Yeah.
I don't know if we'll know that until Q3 2025, but hey, it's all fine. It's all fine. But no, that is crazy. That is so crazy, and I'm just so excited. I'm in the same boat as Kiatic and everybody else who's got their pre-orders, just like waiting on pins and needles for it to hopefully show up soon. The way I did my pre-order, I'm not optimistic that I'm going to see it earlier than the actual day because I did mine through Walmart and they're hand delivering it, so they'll have to go to the store first, and then some store worker will have to drive to my house and then drop it off on my on my front porch. But it's still kind of cool to see them. The packaging's neat. They've got it. I mean, it's very much the same as like the Nintendo Switch 1, where it's all white packaging on the inside, but everything's not as there's a little more whimsy to the way they've got stuff packaged. Like the Joy-Cons are kind of kicked diagonally inside of it, so it's neat. I'll take a Mafia boss dropping off the Switch 2. Kiatic in the live chat. My gosh. Oh man, Listen, he'd be like, "Hey, I'm here with your horse's head, and you switch to. We're gonna make you swim with the fishes." If it's a mafia boss, have you not seen that? You don't know nothing about no mafia bosses, true. Mafioso cutting off horses' heads and putting them in the beds with people.
Well, sometimes they do.
Yeah, sometimes they do.
They don't always do it.
No, not always.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, say away.
Flynn has been on a roll with the random things that he is just reposting on TikTok.
For those who don't know, Flynn is Flynn's Chris's son. Who has access to TikTok, and it's great.
There was one time I had to call him and tell him to unpost something, but other than that, yeah, I'll tell you about it after the show. But that's how bad it was. It was insane. I still have the link. I have the TikTok of what he posted.
Just send it to the chat here. I'd like to get a live reaction of me seeing the title at least.
You need to watch it. Yeah, it's insane. I saw it and I had to do a double take, and I was like, wait, no, he couldn't have posted that. I don't know why I thought he couldn't have posted it, because he is a maniac. This child.
I've decided that he's my spirit animal when it comes to TikTok feed. Like, he's what I desire to be in every way. Like, I wish I could have the TikTok algorithm that he has. It's so good.
His TikTok algorithm. I don't know how he came up with it.
Built it brick by brick, baby.
Yeah, he built this thing.
The amount of sighing that you're doing while you're trying to find this.
Because I had to scroll through the history of looking at his post to find the one that he posted, and then it turns out he will tag a lot of them. Like, he might have posted it just the other day, but he's already posted so many other things, and then it's just. He's a maniac. All right, this week, what's the best thing you ate all week?
Oh man, it hasn't been a full week yet. It's only been like 5 days. Yesterday we did.
You got anything planned up for this week that you're going to be eating?
Well, yesterday we did Memorial Day burgers over at the in-laws' place. It was my dad's birthday too yesterday. I got to call him and tell him happy birthday. The kids made cupcakes. And wanted to call him and show off a cupcake and say, happy birthday to my dad. He hit the great Nintendo 64 age. That's how many years old he is. So congratulations on making it to Nintendo 64.
Congratulations, yeah. And,
but no, like that was still pretty good. I suppose that was good. And then... I don't have anything planned this week other than I'm usually not the one who plans the dinners. The wife is the one who plans the dinners because she's most of the time the cooker. I'm most of the time the person who does the dishes. But the way I felt today, I didn't do jack diddly. I didn't get dishes clean. So we had frozen pizza today for dinner. So it wasn't. What about you? What's the best thing you ate the past 5 days?
I don't know. I haven't had much of an appetite, so I haven't been eating that much. But I had some hot dogs today,
Surprise.
I gotta get that, I would say, you know what? I was going to say I got to get that number up, but I like hot dogs. What can I say?
my sister in the live chat had 4 hot dogs, so she's ahead of you. She's ahead.
She's not ahead of me. Hold on.
Let me ask. I sent some Crocs to you guys because for those who don't know, my wife and my family we're a big Crocs fam. We really love our Crocs. I'm currently wearing a pair right now. See them, look at them gams coming up. You can see them Crocs back there, but no, like we have Crocs, we love Crocs, and I sent you guys some Crocs. To look at on Instagram. I think is where it probably sent it to you.
Yeah,
check your
you
Instagram.
Sent it on Instagram. I saw it. Yeah. And Yeah. So Sierra has 34 hot dogs. I've got 44 hot dogs.
You were 10 hot dogs ahead?
I'm 10 hot dogs ahead.
Man,
She's slacking.
Sierra's got to pump up those numbers. Those are rookie numbers.
44. Yeah, she's a slacker. She is slacking. Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Just without saying a word, just do like, you know that like shrug emoji? Just do that in the camera.
Okay, hang on 1 second.
And that's from me to her. From me to her.
Here, it's coming. It's coming. Are you ready?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
You got it.
I'm gonna clip that and then just send it to her every time every time I'm ahead of her.
She said she looked away.
Yeah.
She also says in the live chat that you're not eating them out of joy. You're eating them to win. Why are you eating them to? Are you seriously just eating them to win?
I'm not eating them to win. I wanted a hot dog.
God, I might slap an Mnemonic Man on the shoulder if he did that to me. Listen, I only did it because Chris asked me to. Oh man, we should be thankful for our siblings in our life.
I found it.
Oh,
okay.
You did? All right.
I found it.
Well, I can't segue out of that then. Hang on, let's see.
Yeah, now listen, I'm going to send you this. I told him to take it down. He did not unpan it. He unposted it while we were on the phone and then reposted it. All right, I'm going to send it to you.
We're back at TikTok, by the way, for the.
This is the TikTok. I had to call Flynn and say, hey, maybe untag that.
Oh, and no. Oh, no.
And so he posted it. Yeah. This is the shirt. I told him, nope, don't.
I just watched it. That's not. Oh my God.
I know. I told him, Flynn, maybe you should unpost that. And he said, what? I thought it was funny. I said, okay.
Oh no, Flynn. Never mind. I take back everything about him being my TikTok spirit animal.
So he's your spirit animal. Okay,
not anymore. I take it back. I take it back. I take it back. Oh yeah. Man. Honestly, I'm thankful he's not my spirit animal quite that way. But you are being asked, Chris, what's the background this week? What's the background for this week's episode?
Legend of Zelda. I'm just standing in a random field.
He's outstanding in his field. He's outstanding in his field. He's so good at it. He is looking for a random hot dog. Oh man, honestly, I'm thankful that I'm not that I'm not quite that hard up for a spirit animal on TikTok. But you know who else I'm thankful for? I'm thankful for those lovely, amazing supporters and producers for our content here on this show, who support us over on NintendoRewind.com. If you would like to directly support our content, every dollar spent on memberships and merch helps us continue to produce this show. There's even a tier that only costs $1 a month, and with it, you still get a shout out here on the show. And that said, I want to thank our members, Calamity Nolan, Sierra Christian, Kiatic, and Shiny Bird for all their gracious support. You guys are amazing. Thank you so freaking much. Chris, do you have anything else you want to say before we dive into main topic today?
I have something else to say.
Hit me.
It's been bothering me for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about cancer. I'm talking about that made me laugh. I want you to rank our supporters from your favorite to least favorite.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. They're all my favorite children. Jesus Christ. Oh man. You know what? We're gonna choose your own adventure this, and so so whatever answer you want the most, you can skip ahead. So for choose your own adventure number 1, it is
choose your. Don't even say any because they're gonna get clipped out.
Listen,
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever? When's the last time you got Geez, what was the word? What was I thinking? You know the thing in the garden in the back yard? Did I send you pictures of that I was working on?
No, you haven't. You told me. You told my. Let me backspace. You told my wife that you were helping your dad with hanging lattice. But you didn't tell me.
Wait, with hanging what? Lattice?
Hanging, like building walls in your garden, weren't you?
Oh, okay, yes. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different plots. And there's like 3 CC's last. There's just kidding. Sorry, Sierra. There are 5 5 of them. Stop making that face. I can't see that face and then not say something to look away. Okay, so I made the 5. There's the 5 different plots. I haven't really been able to do much. I'm asking Mom to put me up for adoption.
She won't do
I'm
it.
surprised she didn't years ago.
Oh my God! We're moving it. We're moving on.
Okay. But wait, but
It's too late. The topic is happening. The main topic is happening. Oh man, listen, we are talking about all the rest of the first party and exclusive games that I and Chris have not yet had the chance to talk about, and there's a lot of them that are out there. But you know, when I was looking at our content for the past, I don't know, like month and a half at this point. Month and a half, right? Has it been a month and a half already? Holy crap. When I was looking at the content, we've had the chance to talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza. We've talked about Mario Kart World. We've talked about Metroid Prime 4. We've talked about so many of these games that everybody's like super, super excited for. But there's a few that we haven't yet had the chance to talk about. And I wanted to make sure that we at least gave some attention to a few of these things. More specifically, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour deserves to have your attention. They did a like a Nintendo Treehouse about this. There was like a small little sizzle reel thing that they threw up on the screen. I'm gonna scroll ahead in this game, quote unquote game, just a little bit, and while we talk about this game in particular. But this one is due out on launch day, and it is $9.99, maybe the cheapest game coming to Nintendo Switch 2 right out of the box. But Chris, how are you feeling about, like, legitimately, how are you feeling about Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour? And try to list something positive. There has to be something positive you're excited about with this.
Something I'm positive? It's something that is positive that I'm...
Yeah, something that you're positively actually interested in with this particular thing.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I like is when they show like the 4K Mario, when you're playing Mario 1 in 4K and you like go through the different levels and then they kind of like put each different zone together into it.
Yeah,
I like that. What about you?
Honestly,
like and the price tag.
Yeah, the price tag is actually pretty exciting. Live chat is already revolting and saying this is not a game, it's a tech demo, and I don't disagree with them in the entire sense. This is probably less of a game than even 1-2 Switch was. Like, if we're being honest about it. But I will say there's a lot of information that is here, and it's more than just like when they originally showed this off in the sizzle reel. I thought it was literally only going to be tech demos, specifically only tech demos. But from what I've seen, that they have done, they kind of have a little bit of a WarioWare-esque kind of minigame system in it, and that's something that does get me a little bit excited in the sense that it's not just a tech demo showing, oh well, you can sense how many balls are in this maraca. Like, there are actual games baked into this, which might be kind of interesting. But
based on, sorry, go.
No, you first.
Well, based on how it looks, I think it's done by, what is it, NTC or NTS or
I think it's in.
NST, NSC?
I don't know. You're just gonna keep floating out what an acronym until one of them are correct, though. So.
But yeah, it just looks like the 51st. What is it? The 50 Clubhouse Games devs. It looks like they did it. That's what it looks like.
I could kind of feel that. I can totally 100% feel that vibe when you mention that. I don't like. It is a little bit weird. There's been a lot of talk about. Obviously, this one should have been a pack-in, and at the price point that it is, I mean, it might as well be a pack-in, right? Like it's $9.99, American, not Canadian. For our Canadian listeners out there, it is one of those things where I think if we'd have been in the Reggie Fils-Aimé, Satoru Iwata era, we probably would have seen this actually get packed in. But this specific software piece, it does bring into question why we didn't see it get packed in during the Switch 1 era for 1-2 Switch, because that's the other thing is people want to make that argument that, if Reggie Fils-Aimé had any pull in it, this would have been packed in, but 1-2 Switch wasn't packed in to the Switch 1.
Yeah,
and he was still around. He was still kicking it over at Nintendo doing some shenanigans and stuff. But
right. Well, plus that game was $50. This is a $10 game.
Yeah, which is more. I think it brings into perspective the fact that this more likely would have been a Nintendo Switch 2 pack-in title. I don't know. Like, I'm on the fence about whether or not there's going to be enough content here to even justify this $9.99 price tag. Like, when I think about system tech demos and what I want to see out of them for the price point nowadays, like, I think about, I go to Astrobot's Playroom being kind of the gold standard for that these days, in that it is that is actually a game first and a tech demo later. This feels a lot more like a tech demo first and games baked into that concept. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's disappointing to me as a consumer that they couldn't even if they wanted to show off everything, if they legitimately wanted to show off everything that Nintendo Switch 2 can do and kind of show that off, they wouldn't charge us admission to find that out. But maybe that's just me coming from a totally different kind of perspective with with Nintendo as a company in general. But
yeah, it's funny. Everyone's complaining about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot of people, I should say, not everyone. I'm sure there's some people that are like,
Lando's stoked about it. Lando's stoked about it. He's 5. There's no accounting for taste.
Children. Shout out to Lando. But yes, I was like, you know what? He is going to when we look at the top charts,
mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. On the top charts on the Switch, I don't know, Switch 2, I don't know if they're going to count the upgrades, because if they're going to count the upgrades, Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are going to be 2 and 3. And then, because what is it, $10 a piece?
Yeah.
And then, Fantasy Life, I mean, they just announced Fantasy Life is going, anyway, that is going to be $2.50 to get the upgrade on June 5th.
Mm-hmm.
But I will
Well, their install base is pretty small, I feel like, comparatively, though. Compared to, Breath of the Wild, people who own that already, people who own Fantasy Life are, significantly less.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I think that game, if they don't have the other stuff, I think Mario Kart is going to be number one.
Yeah.
And Welcome Tour is going to be number
Well, you got to
two
think about
on
the
charts.
bundles and it's just going to be downloads, essentially. It's going to track how many people have downloaded this. So it's not necessarily everybody who paid $80 for it. It's everybody who has a download code for it coming out of the box, too.
Right, because that counts as an $80 purchase, all went on that chart. But yeah, so Mario Kart will be number one. I wouldn't be surprised if Mario Kart stays number one even after Donkey Kong comes out, but that's a whole nother thing.
I mean, here's something to consider, and this is me playing devil's advocate here, or I guess Sony's advocate. When you think about what you're getting for $10 with this experience versus what you're getting for $10 on Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, really, what are you getting out of Breath of the Wild that is defining in the same sense that Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour is? Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour is entirely a brand new experience. The Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade for Breath of the Wild is a performance and stability upgrade. Is pretty much it. Like, it's the same experience.
And you get the GPS.
Which is on your Nintendo Switch app that you can use, which how many people are actually using that?
Left 400 feet to the right. Yeah.
So there's a part of me that's like, when I compare dollar to dollar, like I can have virtually the same experience not buying the upgrade pack, in Breath of the Wild, saving that money if I didn't have the Nintendo Switch Plus online expansion pack, blah, blah, blah nonsense. I could have that same virtual experience and have a new experience spending another $10 to get a new game. There is something to be said about that, at least, even if the game portion of this, and I don't want to sound like a Nintendo shill. Like I already do 90% of the time anyway.
Stop talking.
I won't stop using words. I am being helpful.
I stopped using words. You're not being helpful. Right?
But I feel like it has to be said in some ways, right? Like this is a whole new experience that you're not going to have any other place other than Nintendo Switch 2. It is an exclusive experience, and it's $10. And it's $10. Now, granted, I will probably save my money if I didn't have a kid who wanted to play it. I would probably save my money and put that toward, Donkey Kong Bonanza that comes out in literally a month later. But I think there is something to be said about the fact that like it's $10 and it's significantly more of an experience than the Switch 2 edition upgrade that cost the exact same price for Breath of the Wild.
Right. No, I would still say Zelda is definitely a better value because
that's a take. I don't know that I would agree with that.
I mean, I think it's a take that you think Welcome Tour. I mean, it just looks like garbage. It just looks like garbage shoveled into a garbage pail and then given to us for $10. That's what it looks like. But other than that, it looks good. I will say the being able to play Zelda, especially if you could play it at 60 FPS the whole time without any slowdown, I would definitely take that over, moving the Joy-Con around on the ground like a mouse. Because you have to get on the ground. They said you can't use it on the desk in this game. You have to use it on the ground. Listen, I don't make the rules.
How does it know this?
Like that right there. They were just like, it looks like something that you would play, like when they have like PAX or something, when they have like an event and then there's like a special website you can go to and look at. That's what this looks like. It doesn't look like something that I'm like, oh, I definitely need to have this.
Yeah, but don't read me wrong. I am very much in the same park as like I don't think I definitely have to have this. I'm not as personally excited about this as I am for the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild upgrade pack. But I think that there is something to be said about the experience that you're paying for. And that's the only argument that I will make about it, is that like you are getting an experience rather than an enhancement on a previous experience that you've already had. That's the only justification I can find in this, right? It's the only reason I can think of that like $9.99 doesn't sound that bad. Again, am I looking forward to getting this over Breath of the Wild's expansion pack? If I didn't have the Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pass upgrade, whatever blah 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 nonsense is out there, no. At the end of the day, no. Lando's excited for it, and I'll get it for him because it's only $10. You know, like it's not like it's gonna break the bank kind of money amount of stuff put on there. And then on top of that, we'll make some content on here, and we'll make it a tax deduction. So, but that's kind of where I'm at with it. I don't think there's a whole lot to talk about with this specific game, though, because, again, very much like everyone is saying, you and Kiatic and Tindy in the live chat, too, this is a tech demo at the end of the day. It is a tech demo. And I'll agree with you guys 100% on that. I just think, like I said, there is something to be said about the fact that it is an experience versus a quality of life upgrade.
Yeah. No, it definitely is an experience. Jeez Louise. That
what?
being said,
You're about to have an aneurysm based on my argument.
Yeah, it's like it's like I am looking forward to seeing. This is the one that I'm looking forward to. I don't care about reviews for Mario Kart. I'm looking forward because Mario Kart, I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
Mario Kart,
Yeah.
This one, I'm looking forward to seeing reviews just to see how much stuff is in there and if there's like a bunch of hidden stuff. Because if it does end up being like WarioWare and it's like made by, Intelligent Systems or something, which it does not look like.
Oh no.
But if it has good like mini games in it, all you need is one good mini game and I'll play it. I mean, look at
I know how you
New
are.
Super Mario Bros.
Wait, what is that? What are you talking about?
No, I was Mario 64 on the DS. Is that the one that had like
with the casino minigame and the
casino minigame
trampoline
and like the
one?
catching trampoline one? Yes. I would just play that nonstop.
I was like, wait, what? Oh man, the next game we do have on the list here is Fast Fusion. And this is it is the sequel to Fast RMX. It was a like F-Zero inspired high-tech speed racing kart game kind of situation that they had going here. I somehow missed out on Fast RMX on Switch 1 and I still haven't played it. But
you missed out on it.
Yeah, I didn't play it. But Fast RMX launched on launch day of the Nintendo Switch 1 at $19.99. This is coming out June 5th for $14.99 on Nintendo Switch 2, which is, and this teaser, this little sizzle that they have here is so short. Like there's like nothing in here to really show you much of what's going on in this. But Chris, how are you feeling about Fast Fusion at $14.99?
I'm feeling much better about this than like just in terms of like games that I'm like that I'm not worried about. Like, I mean, if I'm gonna play a game or get a game, odds are I'm not gonna look at the reviews because I'll either play the game at launch or get it before launch. I will say that in terms of this game, like the number of features that it has me very excited, and I love the team that is working on it, or that what is it, like Shinnin? Yeah, like all of their games I have enjoyed. Have you played all of their games? Like even like Punchin, which is like a penguin, but they punch, and then the Tourist, and then over
I
on
didn't know they did the Tourist. I loved the Tourist.
on Wii U and the Nintendo Switch, they also did the Art of Balance,
I didn't
which
know
was
that.
like it was almost like 3D Jenga, where it was like Jenga, but it was like a bunch of different pieces, and you had to like balance them on top of each other to see how high you can go with them and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, then they also did Fast RMX, and they also did Fast Racing Neo on the Wii U,
I
which was
didn't
another
realize
good
that.
one.
That's crazy.
And they did some 3DS games like Nano Assault.
This game looks really good too. Let me just talk about like some of the screenshots from this game. Like this one in particular is insane to me. The amount of floating debris that is around there, and that was kind of in the same vein as Fast RMX when that had came out. A lot of people were talking about how good that game looked, and I think Shannon's a really good example of taking a piece of hardware. Excuse me, I apologize. Taking a piece of hardware and really pushing it to its limits early. I mean, look at the amount of detail in the environment and atmosphere. Like it almost gives me like Forza Horizon kind of vibes from like how much detail is in the environments here. It's crazy looking.
I know.
Look at that.
It looks so good. And then not only that, but it's a 4-player split screen.
Yeah.
And this game has game share for 4 players online. So only one person needs to have the game, and then they can game share through game chat with with 3 other people, and you can play 4 players with 1 copy of the game, which is bananas.
I did have a thought, and we haven't gotten. Excuse me, hang on one moment. I did have a thought, and we haven't really gotten to this title on here, but I do find it interesting, like how many racing games are coming out on Nintendo Switch 2 that they're really kind of like pushing early on. I mean, you've got Mario Kart World launching on launch day. You've got this game launching on launch day, and then a little bit later we've got the Sakurai fronted Kirby Air Riders launching later on this year as well. And it's interesting to me how much racing is kind of taking up the forefront of the Nintendo Switch 2, and there's not a whole lot of like other for lack of a better word, other genre stuff that's really coming. And I could be wrong on that, but I don't know. It feels kind of weird to me. Does it feel weird to you?
It feels weird to you?
Yeah, that there's so much just racing games.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, day one, I've got 2 racing game experiences, a JRPG, a survival game, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Except for third-party stuff.
Ridge Racer coming out, you know?
Yep. Ridge Racer 64. That just came out too. We didn't cover that on the show.
Right. Well, it came out in Japan, but it came out here in like February.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, but then the Ridge Racer, the original Ridge Racer. And yeah, there are a lot of racing games, but I also feel like there's a lot of racing games. A lot of time you'll see racing games at the launches because you can make them look really good.
That's true.
And I feel like, I mean, I remember even on the PS2, I remember probably, I mean, besides so there was 2 games that I loved at the launch of the PS2. One of them was Kessen. I don't know if you ever played Kessen. But Kessen, great game. Look it up. Go play it. And then the other game was
it like a samurai racing horses?
It's like it
racing game.
No, it was like a real time like horse, like it was like what if
Kessen was a tactics game by Koei.
Yeah, it was a tactics game.
I said it was a racing game.
No, absolutely. I'm getting to the racing game.
Oh, okay.
But that was just, I got sidetracked. No, but the other one that was SSX, and that was like, I love that.
Snowboarding.
But yeah.
Snowboarding game. SSX tricky, baby.
But yeah, there are a lot of racing games, and I think I'm okay with it, but also I'm okay to not get all of them.
Yeah, and that's where I think Fast Fusion being at a very attractive price point is going to be very beneficial to it compared to like Mario Kart World, where you might not want to do a racing game the whole time. Like right at the very beginning, you might want to have a different experience, like Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome to it. You probably won't, but I think them being launched together around that same time frame, do you think it's going to hurt Fast Fusion's numbers having Mario Kart World out same day as Fast Fusion?
It's definitely not going to help it. It does seem odd that this is an exclusive. You would think that they would account for pretty much everyone getting Mario Kart, and then them being like, okay, we'll be there for people that are like, oh, we want to support indies. But at the same time, you would think that you would want them to not do that,
Right. Well, I mean, but Shannon has a good relationship with Nintendo in general too.
Right.
Like, and I think that's why they're willing to do that.
And I think they also were like, oh, this did really well at launch on the Wii U, because that never came to any other systems.
Mm-hmm.
So if this comes out and it does well on the Switch too, I said Wii U, but the one came out on the Wii U, but then the other one was a launch title for the Switch too, or Switch 1 as well.
Mm-hmm.
TOO. And Switch 2,
Switch also.
Switch as well, yes. Yes.
In addition to Switch.
Right, yes.
Oh man, I don't know. Like I'm excited for this one. I think it looks really, really cool. It looks really good. It kind of fills that niche of not having an F-Zero in a lot of years. I think it looks cool. It looks like a different and at the end of the day, it is a very different experience from Mario Kart World. I don't want anybody to get it twisted that like, hey, you're not going to have as good a time with this game as you will with Mario Kart World or vice versa, because they are ultimately very different experiences. It is hard for me to go, man, 2 racing games on launch day, do I really want them both? So that's what I was afraid of, is it's gonna kind of affect those numbers a little bit. $14.99 launch day. I don't have as much to say about that as I did Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. I'm gonna be honest, mainly because
you were glowing.
I know I'm not glowing. I just had to make a case for it. Because I gotta get those numbers pumped up on that Fantasy Critics. So the next game that we have on the list here, Survival Kids, $49.99, coming out launch day. They just released this game on the Game Boy Color Nintendo Switch Online app, where you can play this, but it's not this. But I mean, it is. It was
the Game Boy Color version. Yeah, I think that might only be single player, but yeah,
it is. It didn't have link cable support.
Here's the thing: I love the way it looked on the Game Boy Color. So seeing this, I'm like, oh gosh, I don't think it'll. I want to like it because it's Survival Kids, but at the same time, it's hard to be on board for this. And not only that, but this is like, I think like either the first or one of the first games developed by Unity, where like Unity is making it in conjunction with Konami.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. That was the name I was looking for.
Konami published it and they own it, but.
Yep. It is interesting. Developer is Unity themselves. You're right. You know what? Let's go do some actual live journalism. Unity developer. Let's go look. Man, that's hard to find a result on this.
Is Survival Kids the first Unity game?
That's probably it. Is Survival Kids the first Unity developed video game? No, Survival Kids is not the first video game developed by Unity Technologies. And while it marks the first time Unity has designed and developed a game end-to-end in collaboration with a publisher, Unity has a history of providing the engine for many other games. Survival Kids is their first collaboration.
Survival Kids is the first time Unity has designed and developed a game end-to-end in collaboration with a publisher. Konami posted that on their press release.
Interesting. I don't know. Like, I'm not like mega super duper excited for Survival Kids, if I'm being honest. It's not that I think it's going to be a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just not a big survival genre player. I can think of a few people out there in the community that would be really into this. I could totally see I Am Tenderly being really into this, and having a really good time with it. Some of the puzzle solving stuff that kind of throws me off. I know she's out there listening and watching, and I know she really enjoyed Hello Kitty Island Adventure, and that's the kind of vibes that I'm getting from this in some ways. And I liked Hello Kitty Island Adventure too. I kind of sang its praises, even with it coming out at a $40 price tag versus being free on Apple Arcade, you know. But this looks very, very much up her alley. Not necessarily a game for me, and that's not saying it's going to be a bad game. I think it's going to be a phenomenally good game. I'm interested to see what a game developed by Unity as a developer feels like. I think that could be super, super intriguing. But at the same time, like, I'm surprised this is the aesthetic that they rolled with, considering they know their code a lot better than anybody else. I mean, they made it, you know? Like, why did they go with this as the aesthetic? She'll play it for me. Perfect. Thank you, Tindy.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of being able to play 4-player co-op, and I mean, survival games are so hot right now. But I don't know how deep it's going to be, and I almost feel like I would rather go and play the Game Boy Color game.
Yeah, I mean, it's $49.99 too.
That's the other problem. I mean, I might get it when it's on sale for $10.
If it's on sale for $10.
Well, there's a lot of Konami games on the Switch that eventually drop down. So, I mean, if it drops down eventually, I guess I could also just reach out to them and ask for a code.
It does say it takes full advantage of the console's unique communication and game sharing features. So that leads me to believe that, you know, you can game share with up to 4 people, very similar to Fest.
Oh, that'd be nice if we could just have one copy and then...
Yeah.
So when you get it, we can all 4 play together tenderly. Thank you.
There we go.
That would be nice.
There we go. We'll all do content. We'll jump on with Tenderly and play it together with her. Does it have a physical release?
Which would make, I think it's a game card game. Yeah, but it would make sense.
Game key card.
Game key card. Yeah.
Survival Kids switch to physical. Let's do some live research here. I think it's a game key card too. It's available as a digital game on Nintendo Switch. Nintendo has also announced that it will be available to play physically, but what does that mean? Looks like most Switch 2 third-party releases don't have the game on the card. So yeah, it's a game key card. So it will be a digital title with a physical card to be able to play it, essentially. You'll have to put in the cartridge to be able to play the game, and it just downloads the freaking game. Blah!
Yeah.
Oh man, I hate that. I have feelings about that.
Maybe eventually soon it'll be on sale, but yeah. I'll get here's what I'll do. I'll get the press email for Konami to email them about getting a code for Survival Kids, and then I'll just send it to you, and I'll send it to Tenderly and anyone else that wants it. And then they can email them and ask them for a Survival Kids code to make content for.
There we go. Awesome was about us all playing together, not the game key cards. I'm following Tenderly.
Tenderly just loves game key cards.
Awesome, a game key card. Let's go, baby. I don't know. Like the $50 price tag kind of scares me away from it. Pretty dramatically.
I mean, when I saw it, I mean. Of course, it's all subjective, you know, the price of games. But when I look at it, I don't think, oh, that looks like a $50 game.
Not compared to the other experiences, but I mean, it will depend on length, right? Like if it's a longer experience, that justifies that, and it has a level of continuation that a lot of survival games do. I think we'll do pretty well. My opinion on Game Geek Cards, cat butt. That's what Mnemonic Man says in the live chat. That's hilarious. Thank you for the bits over here on Twitch.
Can we talk about something real fast?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Splatoon, its 10th anniversary is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
How crazy is that? 10 years?
That is insane.
Splatoon?
That's insane that it is 25% as old as Mario.
Right. I've had my Splatoon tattoo for
11 years.
yeah, 10 years.
Wasn't even out yet when you got it, was it?
It came out in September, and so I got it. Or when did it come out? Yeah, I think it did come out in May, right?
April, I believe, wasn't it? Hang on. We'll know for sure. Let's do some live journalism again. No, May 7th.
Okay, and my birthday's May 5th, so I got the tattoo.
Well, but then when I click on this article, it tells me May 29th, 2015, North America.
North America, yeah. Why does it say May 7th?
I don't know why it says May 7th. Initial release date, May 7th, 2015.
That could be when it was the Splatfest, like where you can test it out, where they had like the there was an event held, the global test fire. Yes, that was that weekend. Yeah,
that is crazy to kind of think about. Holy crap! Next game, we're finally getting into some stuff that I think kind of justifies the price tag now, because Fast Fusion, we know it's absolutely going to be worth the $14.99. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, jury's still out. $9.99 is going to be worth it. Survival Kids, it's very hard to say $49.99 is going to be worth it. For us as game players, I don't think it's going to be our jam necessarily. That doesn't mean it's going to be a bad game, just not going to be our genre. Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster. This is a game that came out on the Nintendo 3DS originally. It's developed by Square Enix. It is a sequel, prequel. I believe this is a prequel, right? To the first Bravely Default? Isn't it?
What, this is the first? Well, okay, there's Bravely Default. And then there's Bravely Second.
Yes, I think this is like a prequel, though. The Flying Fairy is a prequel.
What, this? What do you mean?
The Flying Fairy HD Remaster.
No, this is just Bravely Default.
What? Are you sure? Subtitled for the sequel in Japan. For the sequel was later released in Australia, Europe, and North America, and simply titled as Bravely Default. Oh, okay. Yep. No. Okay. That's where I got the prequel sequel stuff.
Out, right. So in Japan, originally Bravely Default came out, and then this version came out in Japan like 6 months later, along with the translation for the other countries, and so then that version came out everywhere else. And because they did it that way, because, on the 3DS, it wasn't, especially when this game came out, wasn't as easy to release updates and patches for games. So they did that instead. Like, they removed the other game and then just sold this one instead.
So here's my question then. Switch 2, what did we get on Switch 2 in the Bravely series? We got Bravely Second. We got something else that... Oh, wait. No, I've played this. This is definitely Bravely Default.
DS, I think. And then we got Bravely Default 2 on the Switch.
Wait, hold on. Bravely Second is not the sequel to Bravely Default?
Bravely Second was like another... Oh,
my God. This is so confusing. This is worse than Final Fantasy. In every way. Oh my God. So I've played this one. I recognize this one. Okay, now I know what we're talking about. I have played this one. As soon as they zoomed in on that city, that's the first city you get to in the very first game.
Right.
So
yes.
Okay. I now know what we're talking about. God, look at me being an amazing Nintendo.
Bravely Second was a sequel to Bravely Default, but it wasn't that much. It was like set 2 years after the game, and then Bravely Default 2 like took like the same mechanics but not all the same characters. So it was like different characters.
Okay.
And so it was kind of like Final Fantasy to Final Fantasy 2, where you might see some of this, you might see Sid and all of them.
Yeah. Okay. I'm following what we're what we're putting down here now. Okay.
What are we putting on?
anything. I don't know. You picked. We can put on anything. We can put on that dress that she was putting on. But no, like Bravely Default. Holy crap, I didn't realize that's what this one was. Okay, $40. Yeah, I'm 100% sold on this one. That game is amazing. The 3DS version of it is amazing. I didn't realize it was Flying Fairy. It was the same thing. I thought we were dealing with sequel, prequel kind of stuff going on here. Very into this suddenly. I'm more sold on it at $39.99 than I was before we started talking about it.
And it has mouse controls for some of the stuff.
That's
like
pretty
they have
cool.
like mini games and stuff that you can use to get stuff going.
It's kind of cool because this was like this price point is the exact same price point it launched at on 3DS too. So like, yeah, no, like count me in. If that's what this is, like count me in. I have nothing more to say about this other than yes, 100%. This is a game that you should buy if you're into JRPGs.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm torn because I'm excited. I want to play this game, but I also love level 5 and want to play Fantasy Life I. But at the same time, I really want to play this.
Man.
But yeah.
You can always Rochambeau it. I'll be your Bravely Default. You can be your Fantasy Life I, and then we can rock paper scissors to decide which one you get. Yeah, we'll rock paper scissors to let you decide what you want to get.
Yeah, you know what? This will be like those videos where couples are like, "Oh, we're playing rock paper scissors for this," and then the one that loses, they always end up going there anyway. That'll be this. I'll just get whichever one I want. I'm like, I lost, but I still got Fantasy Life.
Oh my gosh.
No, but yeah, let's be honest. I'll probably just get both eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. Square Enix does some pretty good partnerships too, so you might be able to swing getting a code on that one. Who knows? We'll see. Physical edition of it is $39.99 as well. You can get them both. You can get them both physically and digitally.
I never get physical.
No, I know.
The only physical game I'm getting is if they bring out Ring Fit 2. But even then, in Europe, they sold Ring Fit. They ended up releasing an edition of Ring Fit Adventure with just the digital code in the box. If they do that, that's the version I would get.
I don't know. I'm not like I think for me personally, this generation, and it's not even. I know I'm definitely going all digital this time around. I don't have space for all the cases anymore, and even beyond that, like I've ranted enough about how horrible the experience is trying to find a physical copy of a game on release day as of late. So I just don't want to see people anymore. I'm just gonna get it digitally. And I'm with you. Unless there is something that absolutely will not be released digitally that I definitely want to have, I'm gonna go digital all the way. Yeah, $39.99. Count me in. Next game on the list here, we got Drag X Drive coming out. This one is one that we were going to talk about in depth, and we may end up talking about it pretty hardcore here. Who knows? We'll see. But there's no price point announced for this game. There's no release date announced for this game. This game's giving me like weird Rocket League vibes. And I have mixed feelings on it because everyone who has tried this game out at the Nintendo Experience Tour that they've done, the Nintendo Switch 2 Experience Tour, has came back kind of glowing about this game and saying it's a really unique, different, cool experience. But there's a very big part of me that's like, I don't know if that experience is going to be sustained in the same way that something like ARMS would have been, where I loved ARMS, and ARMS was a unique experience, and I played it almost exclusively with the motion controls as well, like swinging the Joy-Cons around, punching people as Twin Tail. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Drag X Drive as a game that's going to be sustaining. And here's my prediction on price point. I think this game is going to be all of $29.99 on launch, but I think it is not going to be worth $29.99 on launch. I think that game is going to be that should be a $20 game personally, but that's just going to be my opinion.
And also just using, I've only ever seen them using the Joy-Con on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So like for a game like where I guess Nintendo came out and said they're not in wheelchairs, that's just like the way they play the game, but it's not very accessible to only be able to play this game that one way.
Like if they're doing an accessibility based game, for it to not be accessibility.
Very accessible. Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like I laugh at the irony there.
Right. Yeah. But no, you know what? I was like, I'm going to go in with an open mind. And then I was watching them play, and the amount of space they had on their desk to just constantly be moving forward with that thing. It looked exhausting. I was like, that looks less fun than fun.
How did you play ARMS? Let me ask you, how did you play ARMS?
With a Pro Controller.
Oh, so you didn't do motion controls?
No.
Dude, motion controls was where it was at in that game.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was. You can't just tell me it wasn't. It was. You didn't even try it. You didn't even try it. How would you know?
I did try it.
Oh, you did try motion controls?
Yeah.
I
started with the motion controls and played it with. Yeah, I played ARMS with my arms. What do you want? What do you want from me?
I want you to admit that motion controls were the optimal way to play ARMS.
Absolutely not. No.
I don't know.
I had a great record.
What was your record?
DNA Man. Great question. I don't know what my record was, but I did really good as him, Helix, and
DNA Man.
Yeah, DNA Man was his name in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
I liked ARMS too, and honestly, I think this game in particular will be one that will be extremely surprising to people. I think it will. I think for those who pick it up and the reviewers who actually get their hands on it, they're going to have a good time with it, and it's going to be reviewed pretty highly. But I'm also with you in the sense that like I'm kind of past the motion control gimmick in a lot of ways. Like I just want to move my thumbs around on sticks or press buttons on my keyboard and use a mouse. I don't really want to do all of this like skiing motion. Like it's the last thing I really want to do nowadays. And I feel like it's another one of those things where they're just trying to kind of they had one gimmick on the Nintendo Switch 2 that they really wanted to use, and they decided to use that to help create a game kind of surrounding that. It's just not exactly what I'm looking for. Like it's not exactly what I'm looking for as a gamer anymore. Like there is a section in the Nintendo Treehouse Live. Let me pull it up here. There's a section in this Nintendo Treehouse Live where it kind of reminds me a lot of. We've talked about it on the show in the past too. The very beginning of every Splatoon game where they force you to use the motion controls on it to be able to play it. And some of this just kind of feels like you have to do this to be able to enjoy this game in the most optimal sense, and it's just not the thing that I'm really looking for. I don't know.
I know like Nintendo is like, we like to come up with new things to do with our new control schemes that we find, and we try to find multiplayer things, and maybe this seemed like it would have been fun, but I just can't, like, watching the
Yeah, you're right about the amount of space on that dude's desk.
Yeah.
Punching him, and he's just like really having to slide those Joy-Con to make them.
And you're going to be
go.
constantly moving them.
Yep.
And if you're playing on the Switch, where's the microphone? On the Switch itself?
Yes, that is where the microphone is. It's not on the Joy-Con.
It's not on the Joy-Con. Okay, good. Because I was going to say, if you have that in there and you're just constantly moving it,
it's just like a grinding noise.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just I don't know. Like there's just so much there that like I'm not sold on with this game. And like I said, it should probably be a $20 experience. It'll probably launch at $29.99, and that's fine. Like that's, charge what you want to for the product that you've created. But at the same time, I don't plan to pick it up at the $29.99 price range unless I absolutely have to. In which case, I will pick it up at the $29.99 price range because I have to, and then that'll be the game for the month. That we do a podcast on. I'm hoping that this comes out, around the same time as Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I can just do just that instead of do Donkey Kong Bonanza instead of this. Oh man, I don't know. Are you excited for this one at all? Like at all? Is there anything like I feel like I would pick this game up and I would play it for 20-30 minutes on a stream and then just forget about it.
Yeah. You know what? This is the type of game that even more than Welcome Tour, I think not only does this looks like a game that would be one to just add to NSO plus expansion.
More than Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour.
Yeah, because this gets people with online, It gets the people that are playing online anyway, but so if you're not going to buy it, you can get the expansion. So then you'd have the GameCube plus this. But yeah, I mean, it's coming in the summer. We'll see. This could be like the, Tetris 99 of. But the thing is, I don't see that many people playing this game.
No, dude, I think like matchmaking is going to be miserable. Matchmaking is going to be miserable. Like this does not have the polish I would expect. I will say that much. Like to look at this critically, and I know like this pre-release, like this is not out yet, but this doesn't look like a super mega polished game. They've chosen an aesthetic, and it's just not. I don't know. Look at these people.
Right.
Look at them.
I feel like it like is one of those games that kind of I mean, it almost looks like a game mode that you would see in like a more fleshed out game. And then like, oh, we just have this bonus mode that we were playing around with this while we were developing this main game. And this is the thing that came out of it. And this is how we tested the idea.
Yeah.
And then we're going to release that to you so you can play it.
Yeah.
But instead I wouldn't be surprised if this is $40.
I wouldn't either.
No,
I'm trying to speak it into fruition that it's $29.99. I don't know that we'll actually see it at that price point.
$24.99. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, when you got a crummy Mario Kart game at $80, no, just I can't call it crummy when they got
cow.
When they got cow in there.
Oh man, I'm with you. You kind of talked about. You started to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, but you didn't hit the note that I was thinking in my head, where this does a much better job of gamifying the gimmicks that are the Nintendo Switch 2 than I think Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour will do.
Yeah.
Like it's like, hey, you can do the mouse mode stuff, and this is something that you can do with this. That would be super cool. They gamified a gimmick that is the system. Whereas Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, it kind of gives me those vibes of They would rather tell you than show you what you can do. And maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too hard on Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Who knows? Probably not. Probably not. Next game we have on the list, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I'm not a big Musou game fan. I will say that. Not a big Musou game fan. Dynasty Warriors games, I call them grass-cutting simulator. But what I will tell you is that the Hyrule Warriors games hit in a way that that regular Dynasty Warriors does not for me. And on top of that, these games, specifically Age of Calamity and Age of Imprisonment, which is the new one that will be coming out Q4 2025, these games are kind of canonized in a way within the actual storyline of Legend of Zelda. Not quite the first Hyrule Warriors, but Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity and Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment canonized within the story of Zelda, and that is amazing to me. Like, that's so cool that you're getting an expansion on these amazing, great stories that were already crazy good, and seeing, you know, some stuff with the 100-Year War, and then, like, more specifically, if you played Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda's time after she was flung back into the past, which isn't too much of a spoiler, but it is some information on what's going on to kind of explain what's going on in this world. I am over the moon about this game, and am very excited to try this out and show it off on stream and experience some more of the story that this game has to offer. That being said, price point on this game, easily $70. There's no way it's going to be any less than $69.99.
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah, I could see that. That's just what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be $70. You say grass cutting simulator, but it's like what I enjoy. I enjoy something about the Musou games in general, just something about them tickles my brain in just the right way. It is like kind of like the same way like an idle game or something along those lines will do for me. We're just like constantly taking out the enemies, you know, and like just seeing that number climb, and then not only that, but then being able to level up each individual character, and then doing certain things with each character, being able to do certain things to unlock different characters, and then do certain stuff to unlock different abilities. It feels almost like a roguelite, where they got me playing the same thing over and over again to get certain stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just love it. Plus the Hyrule Warriors, being able to play all the different characters, and you know,
I wish there was more information on this.
Like go over the top. Yeah,
there's just not really much of anything here.
You know, I feel like that and that Metroid and Kirby will be the next big stuff they push after Donkey Kong comes out, you know?
Oh, yeah. When do you expect this one to launch? Because all they have is a Q4 2025 timeline on the launch time frame for that game.
Yeah.
When do you expect that one to launch? What do you expect?
I think so they did say this fall?
No, that's at Q4, so winter.
Yeah. So, I mean, winter could be anywhere from November to
the end of
February.
January, yeah. Beginning of February, somewhere in that ballpark, yeah.
Because they do like to have a January game. Nintendo likes a January game. They've had one for the last 6 years, something like that. But yeah,
Age of Calamity came out November of 2020.
Right, and that was one of those games where they announced it only a few months ahead of time, didn't they? At the September Direct, was that where it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so I could see it coming out in November, and then Metroid being October, and then what's it called? December, Kirby Air Ride.
Oh yeah.
Riders.
Here's what I'm anticipating, okay? Because we have a timeline of games that we already kind of know when they're coming. Mario Kart World, that's June. July is Donkey Kong Bonanza. As far as the rest
Also,
of their
July is Mario
Party Jamboree plus that's August. That's August. I'm pretty sure August 28th.
I thought that was.
Or is that Kirby?
I thought that was Kirby.
I can't remember anymore. Holy crap. Okay, let me look at this list that I've been trying to curate over the last little bit here. I'll be able to tell you for sure. Donkey Kong Bonanza, July 17th. Dragon Drive is summer. Hyrule Warriors
I think
winter.
the week after, right? Yeah, July 24th.
July 24th. Yeah, I was wrong. Sorry. Kirby and the Forgotten Lands is August 28th.
And then after that, we don't have any dates, right? After Kirby?
Right. Everything else is third party. But the rest of the exclusive and first party stuff from Nintendo. So here's what I'm anticipating with some of the stuff that we've talked about so far with Dragon Drive and Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I expect Dragon Drive to be an early August game, if not sooner. I expect it to be an early August game. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, it says winter. I could totally see that being the Nintendo offering because we have Pokemon Legends Zeta A coming out in also November. It's going to be November. It hasn't been confirmed, but Pokemon games always come out in November.
Right. But also Nintendo doesn't worry about they will still release.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they would release sometimes like they would release a Wii U game, and sometimes wasn't the one year it was like Pokemon Black and White or something? It came out the same day as A Link Between Worlds and 3D World on the Wii U at the same time.
Yeah.
They all came out together or something.
Yep.
Yeah, so they'll do that. I mean, I think that'll be November, and then I wouldn't be surprised if they release 2 games a month, with one of them being like some sort of expansion built on like they did with, like they got July, they got Mario Party, August, they got whatever. But August,
the only thing we're missing is October.
Dragon Drive or whatever.
Right. The only thing we're missing is October, and we can expect that to be Metroid Prime 4. Like that's what I think is October will be Metroid Prime 4.
Would ever be October with.
No, that'd be so
Mario.
funny though.
Yeah. With Mario, I feel like they're just putting it in December because, I mean, that's when his last game came out, was in December, which was Smash Brothers.
We're getting into that one then. So we'll go into Kirby Air Riders here now too. Kirby Air Riders. This one's one that I'm very excited for, but more specifically, I just want more city tour. That's all I want from Kirby Air Riders. That was the best part of the original Kirby Air Ride game. But no, if you watch our video on our live reaction to the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct over on YouTube, it was crazy when we saw this. We were both like, Smash Bros? Like we were both immediately like, this looks like Smash Bros, because if you follow the story of World of Light, like Kirby drops into a void, and then suddenly that jet came out and we were like, wait a second, this doesn't seem right, but maybe it's still Smash Bros. And then it was like, oh wait.
For a second I thought it was like Samus threw a bomb on one of her bombs, but no, it is Kirby Air Riders.
Man,
how did you feel about Kirby Air Riders? Or
so
Kirby
mixed.
Air Ride on the GameCube.
I like Kirby Air Ride. And I think there are a lot of people who like Kirby Air Ride, but that game still is very much like a very niche, has a very niche fan base, right? Like, there's not that many people that played Kirby Air Ride. It didn't sell that well. On top of that, the GameCube comparatively did not sell that well either compared to like Switch. Obviously, like the install base was small. It was tiny. So that game, unfortunately, it got hampered by the fact that there wasn't a large install base there. But I don't know. Like, I'm excited for this. It is going to be a different experience, a very different experience to Mario Kart World. And that's the thing that gives me a little bit of hope that I'm with you. I think it's going to be a December game. I think it is going to be the December game from Nintendo. It's going to be the thing that gets people excited for the Christmas season. Because you've got Mario Kart World that's already been out. That game is going to sell regardless to anyone who has a Nintendo Switch 2. Kirby Air Riders is going to be the big Christmas game from Nintendo.
Kirby Air Riders?
Yeah.
I feel like Mario Kart will still be the big holiday
Oh, well,
game.
it still will be.
Yeah,
There's not going to be a doubt about that.
with this system.
For as long as they have them.
Yeah.
For as long as they have them. But I think as far as an unbundled game, right? Like as far as that goes, Mario Kart World will still be picked up and purchased at $80 for Christmas time. But this is going to be their December release. It is scheduled for winter. No, my apologies. It's scheduled for 2025. December is the very last moment they could do it on, and as you stated right before we jumped into it, Sakurai does love his December releases. He does love his December releases.
It's Sakurai, so like everyone will get it. Like it's not. They don't need to worry about Black Friday, the sales from that. Like people that want a new Sakurai game are gonna get it, and people that want Air Riders are gonna get Air Riders. Even if they already have Mario Kart, it will be funny to see. Like, it's just fascinating that not even in the first 6 months, like, well, I guess in the first 6 months from June to December, Nintendo's going to have two big first party racing games.
I will say Kirby Air Ride. That was all over the place on release dates. It came out in July in Japan, October in North America, February the following year in Europe, and March in Australia the following year as well. So it was kind of all over the place for the first Kirby Air Ride.
But then again, also, I mean, back then, the GameCube and stuff, they were still releasing games at different times in different countries. But then they kind of like broke away from that, and I like the way they do it now, so I don't have to import everything.
Right.
But yeah.
How do you feel like that one's going to be? How do you feel like that one's going to be? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you actually anticipate that one to get?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Mm-hmm.
I hope at least a 7 because I think I have it on the Fantasy
on
Critic.
Your bracket.
I got it on my bracket. Please, bracket, don't fail me now. Yeah, but I do think it will. I'm trying to think of
the pain you sound like you're going through.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm trying to think of what Sakurai games usually get in terms of scores.
Well, you've got Kid Icarus Uprising, you got Meteos. Let's go look. Let's go do some Masahiro Sakurai research.
Kid Icarus Uprising is an 83. Okay. So I could see it being.
All right, so Smash Bros. If I scroll down to reception here, it probably got like a 90 something here. Let me look. 93 on Metacritic. Kid Icarus Uprising, you said had a 83 on Metacritic?
Yeah.
Smash Bros. Brawl for the Wii got a 93. Meteos got a 88. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror got an 80. And the original Kirby Air Ride got a 61. Oof. I didn't realize that was scored as poorly as it was.
Wait, which one?
The original Kirby Air Ride got a 61 out of 100 on Metacritic.
Gosh.
Oh man, that is bad. Mixed or average reviews from critics.
Well, people didn't like the GameCube. What can I say?
Here's what I will think. Here's what I will say. Oh man, 3 out of 10 from Edge magazine. 34 out of 40 on Famitsu.
3 out of 10.
Yeah, I got a 3 out of 10 on Edge. Oh man, that did drag it down. A 4.2 out of 5 from Nintendo Power. Nintendo Life gave it a 6 out of 10. IGN gave it a 5.2. GameSpot gave it a 5.1 out of 10. Game Revolution gave it a C-. Game Informer gave it a 7 out of 10. Nintendo World Report an 8.5 out of 10. Cool. Okay, so here's... What's your theory on how Sakurai got to make this? Because I'll tell you my theory. My theory is they said, hey, we're doing Switch 2. Sakurai, we know you're busy with your YouTube channel, but we really need you for Super Smash Bros. On Switch 2. What's it going to take to get you to come back? And he said, I want to make a sequel to Kirby Air Ride. And they said, anything to come back and get you on Smash.
Yeah, one for you, one for me. You know, that's what he's been doing.
Yep.
Because he did Kid Icarus in between
Smash Bros.
Right?
Yeah, he did Kid Icarus between Smash Bros. He did Meteos, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. I mean, the Smash Bros. Brawl was the last one he did. He was also the voice actor for King Dedede, by the way. Just to let you know. Fun fact about Masahiro Sakurai. Yeah. Man.
Yeah, definitely. They would do whatever he wanted, or let him do basically whatever he wanted to get him to come back and be able to say he's making the next Smash. Now, do you think that if they announce Smash Brothers next June at like the their big showcase direct next year, do you think it will be Everyone's Here plus more, or will it be like a reboot?
Oh man, I want it to be. I really want it to be Everyone Is Here plus more. I really want it to be Everyone Is Here plus more, because we kind of get into that same situation that a lot of people are complaining about with, Mario Kart, where Mario Kart World feels like a step back. We have 96 courses in Mario Kart 8. Why do I need those 30 courses in Mario Kart World? But if they follow that same philosophy they've followed with Mario Kart, where if you read that Ask the Developer last week that we talked about, but we didn't dive into, they had mentioned, they had perfected the formula for Mario Kart in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And they said, rather than doing a sequel where we just do that and then some, it was time to reinvent the wheel. And so they're doing something completely different with it, where it's like straightaways have, grind rails and you can jump on walls and stuff. And I think that's a good addition, and I think it will be revolutionary for its time, for what it is, to do that in Mario Kart. I think they would really benefit from reinventing the wheel with Smash Bros, because it has been its thing. For the longest time, it has kind of been the same thing. Every time it's came out, it's been Smash Bros and more every single time it's came out, right? But I don't know what they would do to change it without losing some of its fan base. Arena Fighter?
You mean if they were to go back? No, like if they were to go scale it back and just...
Not even scale it back, but change its core concepts, because that's what they're doing with Mario Kart World. Is they're changing its core concepts in a lot of ways to do a different game, to where it's not just a sequelization of, it's not just Mario Kart 9.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I feel like Sakurai, based on what he's done in the past, I feel like he would want to go above and beyond and not just do Smash Brothers Ultimate,
Yeah.
So I feel like I could see him doing something to have a new take on it, but then also at the same time bring everyone back.
We finally get Goku. We finally get Goku. No, I think
Yeah,
ultimately,
at this point, like, who do you even add?
not to make it a pun, but I think ultimately, you just do more Smash Bros. That sucks to say out loud, but you do more Smash Bros. You bring everybody back again. You pay for all of those rights. Actually, you probably don't get Sora back. I'm going to be completely
I was
honest.
gonna say,
That's probably
Sora is
like a
like-
one-time thing.
I can't imagine. Like, I mean, they even got Mickey Mouse on
Mhm.
the amiibo. Like,
Mhm.
he even said that was like the hardest part
Yep.
is getting Mickey Mouse on there.
I don't anticipate them, bringing everyone back. Everyone. The
I
amount of
can't
money
imagine-
Nintendo shelled out for the rights there, I think, is probably insane.
Yeah.
But
and they announced the cloud versions at the same time when they did that. So
yeah,
if I could see them doing a thing where they release everyone else's back but Sora, and then Sora comes as a DLC, paid DLC.
and all the money for that paid DLC goes straight to Square Enix and
Yes.
oh man,
their
and Disney.
fees, yeah. But I
Oh,
mean,
man.
I'm sure people would pay for it.
Yeah. It's like you can get the Fighter's Pass, but then you have to buy Sora separately for an additional $40.
Right. Because I remember, what was it in, like, Cloud was DLC, right? Cloud and Bayonetta. Was Bayonetta DLC too?
She was.
On the Wii U. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I wonder how they did that, where they were like, yeah, we'll release these amiibo, but Disney and Square Enix gets all of it. I mean, it's not even Square Enix that's getting it. I'm sure Disney is the one that they had to have a hardest time doing. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if what's his I'm drawing a blank on who's in charge of, he's like in charge of Disney over there.
Walt.
He used to be
Walter Disney. Good old
No,
Walter Disney.
A Disney, he's like in
Bob
charge
Iger?
of like no. He's in charge of like the Disney games aspect, and he was like hold on,
Bob Iger is Disney Games, a division company, has been experiencing leadership changes, expansion. Sean Shoptaw, executive vice president. Disney also hired Ray Gresco.
No,
Jay Ong.
no, golly, it's gonna
I'm drawing a blank at this point. EA CEO considered to be next Disney CEO, Andrew Wilson.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who was in charge. So, okay, so they had he is married. He was, I believe, he was a part of
Bjorn Tornquist.
One Up. Hold on. Do you remember One Up?
I've gotten a few of those in a Mario game here and there. What are you talking about? One Up what? One Up Disney games. Let's find out. I can't find anything.
No. It's oneup.com. Remember One Up? Have you ever you remember One Up?
No, I don't remember One Up.
It was like it was like the website from EGM. EGM had a website, and it was
Electronic Gaming Monthly.
Yeah, and then they had the One Up show, and they had like One Up Yours, with like
I got nothing. I can't find anything on this because I'm like trying my best to do my live journalism and I can't find it.
Okay, so there was a woman that she was the one of the co-hosts of Kind of Funny Games Daily when they first started.
What was the point of this? Why are we going on this tangent now? I can't remember what we were talking about.
He is like a big advocate for video games, right? And so I think he played a big part in him being able to get Sora into Smash Brothers. I think that's what I was getting at.
Let me see here. How Sora got into Smash? Because Sakurai had a chance meeting with who? Higher up at the Game Awards show. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Nomura?
Nomura would be he's like the head guy at working on Final Fantasy right now.
Yeah. I can't find anything on it. I have no clue. I can't find it. The exact details of Sakurai's encounter with the Disney executive, because they left him unnamed in this article from GameRant.com. They left him unnamed. I don't know. Either way, December. December. Kirby Air Riders.
That's
what it's gonna be.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be. Yeah.
Final game. Let's jump into this final game. Let's get it out the way. We've got Duskbloods coming from Software, the devs behind Elden Ring and Demon Souls and Dark Souls and Bloodborne. This is, in a lot of ways, like, my opinion of this game is that it is a spiritual successor to Bloodborne, set in kind of that Victorian era. Very aggro style of gameplay. A lot of people really, really love Bloodborne, and they sing the praises of Bloodborne in ways that I haven't really heard people talk about Dark Souls in that same way. They freaking love Bloodborne. And I think Duskbloods is going to be another thing that is going to be freaking phenomenal, and it's going to be another title that's going to be so cool. When the trailer played for this during the Direct, neither Chris nor I had any clue about exactly what this was going to be. I was like leaning toward Resident Evil at the time.
Yeah, I thought it was either Resident Evil or Castlevania at first.
Yeah. And it turned out neither of us were right. It wasn't Resident Evil. It wasn't Castlevania. It was indeed a new game from the From Software developers. And it looked insane when they popped that From Software logo up on the front. Holy crap. And then it was immediately like Bloodborne, because it has that vibe. It has that aesthetic in some ways. There's a lot of futurism that's going on here with some of these Victorian era.
Hold on, my computer's freezing. 1 second. You keep talking. I'll fix it.
Yeah, you're good. There's a lot of like futurism that's included in this Victorian era, England kind of style. But this game looks so crazy. Now, do I think the Switch 2 is going to be the ideal place to have played this if it were to have came out anywhere else? I don't know. I really don't know. Because I feel like they could have harnessed the power of a PC or a PS5. But do I think it's so freaking cool that we are getting something in this vein going to Nintendo Switch 2? 100% I do. It is one of the most amazing announcements they had in there that I just really wasn't expecting. And we know that From Software has had a really good relationship with Nintendo in the past. We had the Solaire amiibo with the Dark Souls remaster coming out on Nintendo Switch. They really put in a lot of work to try to get it working and running effectively on that console. But this game looks absolutely crazy. Now, here's the final piece of info here from this game. And what we do know, and it's its time frame, and it's that this one is coming out in 2026 and not 2025, and then that is one of the things that makes me probably the saddest about it, is that we've got to wait, because this feels like a perfect December game in a lot of ways. This feels like a perfect December game, home with the families for the holidays, killing demons and taking their souls. But hey, what do I know about releasing video games on a time schedule? But Chris, how did you feel about this game? What's got you pumped about it? What are you not looking forward to about it? What are your thoughts here? I'm gonna restart this trailer while you talk about it again.
Yeah, you go ahead and restart that. I think in terms of the game itself, I love the way it looks. It reminds me of course, the fact that they got the Elden Ring, but then this definitely looks like how they went from Demon Souls to Dark Souls. This looks like Bloodborne to Dusk Bloods. It definitely looks a lot like that. And then they got some wild, crazy stuff with you turning into like a T-Rex, half human, half T-Rex. It looks like something out of one of those.
Oh, it's Super Mario Odyssey.
One of those like erotica books that has where they got the cover where it's like a half man, half horse on the cover with like a woman. Yeah, that's what it reminded me.
Classic 70s and 80s sci-fi romance novels.
Exactly, yes. But yeah, definitely thought it was like Castlevania for a second. And then I was like, oh, From Software. Like even the scenery of like the city and stuff.
This is crazy. This train, look at this train that's coming through here. It's so futuristic looking compared to everything else around it.
Right.
And they've got some atomic future stuff going on in it too, with the steampunk Iron Man armor that one dude was wearing as he's like shooting off into the from here pretty much.
Where you're just kind of flying around. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to know like how it compares in terms of like, is it going to be more dodge based or parry based? I do like how you can have all these different outfits and like different looks. Yeah, I mean,
that looks like a Nier Automata guy. What's his name?
Yeah, right.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah. Right. I mean, even the director wears that over his head when he does interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
But it definitely looking
like a vampire.
And it almost looks like when you jump down, there's not going to be any fall damage. Yeah, it definitely looks like you're part vampire. And the fact that Nintendo's publishing this in America, and then From Software is publishing it in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they did the same thing with Square Enix for some of those games that would be first party, like Dragon Quest Builders and stuff. Those, remember those games eventually left the eShop and then came back with them as the publisher after like 5 years or something like that.
Right.
So I wonder if they're going to do the same thing with this. But yes, you said, I see you over there. You said to let you know what I'm not looking forward to. The fact that, we got Elden Ring. The new Elden Ring's coming out tomorrow or Thursday. Night Rain.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that comes out on Thursday. And so I don't think we're going to get this until next holiday. I don't think it's going to be like 2026. It'll be out in January. I think it'll be out next holiday.
That far out? That far out, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know that I don't know that I agree with that take. I would.
When do you think it's coming?
I would see this as an April, as an April release.
April.
Mm-hmm. That's so really what I think.
Less than a year away.
Mm-hmm. I would expect this to be an April release with them showing off this footage. Is there? Let me go look here. From Software. So From Software's announcement to release trend. What is that? They have a consistent pattern where they announce new projects with release windows often a year or more in the future. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe it would be next December. God. Okay. Yeah. No. Holy cow. That is crazy. That's something I don't like. Oh my gosh. Nolan asking, I did not asking if it was Bloodborne. I think it's Dusk Bloods. I think it's going to be a spiritual successor to Bloodborne, very similar to what Chris mentioned with Demon Souls to Dark Souls, where it's going to be in that same vein, kind of gameplay, very very aggro based gameplay. Because I think it's going to be aggro based. I don't think it's going to be dodge and parry. I think it's going to be aggro. You are on attack the entire time.
Elden Ring was announced in June 2019 and came out February 2022.
God, that's 2 years.
But then again, also, the pandemic happened, so that could have caused some of the delay. But
I don't think Nintendo wants to wait that long though either.
Well,
I don't think they would put that.
But
right, I don't think they would put that. But what I'm saying is, I don't think they want to wait like even a year. I don't think they would put that in the launch sizzle trailer direct experience and say this isn't coming out for a year and a half. That would be crazy. I don't see that being a December game at that point for like December 2026 game. I see that legitimately being, April, May, June next year.
I think let's see, when does it just says 2025 for Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine they would release that in like September, October of this year and then be like, you know what, just give us 6 months before we release the next game. I think it will end up being next holiday that we get that'll be one of the big games. Even if it is a September release.
We'll have to wait and see. I'm not taking bets on it. I don't think I'm anywhere near correct. Let me be clear. Like I don't think I'm anywhere near correct. I am more hopeful and optimistic than anything is really at the end of the day where I'm at with it. But yeah, no. Mentioned Night Rain as well. Nolan did not particularly enjoy his time with Night Rain.
Oh yeah, I remember watching him stream.
I liked watching him play Night Rain. I thought watching him play it was a good experience either way. I was locked in the entire stream, so it was a good time. But no, like, is that something that will be? Do you believe that will be coming to Nintendo Switch? Is that going to be bundled in with the tarnished edition of Elden Ring?
I don't think so. I think they were like, we're going to release Elden Ring instead of Night Rain. But I mean, they could still release Night Rain. I guess it depends how.
I mean, it's built in the same engine.
And how it's done, Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if that does come out next year too. But then at the same time, they're working on. Because this is Elden Ring plus the DLC is what we're getting on the Switch too.
Yep.
Which will definitely at least be 70
right
for the game and the DLC, maybe even 80 for the game.
I see that being 80. I see this being an $80 game when it launches.
Wait, what? Duskbloods?
No, not Duskbloods. Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. I see that being 80. Duskbloods maybe 80.
I guess it depends how many more $80 games we have in, because Microsoft announced all their first party big games are going to be turning. Basically, they're like, Call of Duty is going to be $80 starting this holiday. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see. I don't know. If
all the games, which one are you most excited to play?
Oh man, we
talked about today.
All right, so let me go down the list. I'll start from top to bottom and talk a little bit about it. I think Air Riders is my number one.
Okay.
Followed by.
Say it. Just say it with your full chest. Survival Kids. Admit it.
Survival Kids ranks way down there. I'm sorry. Air Riders is my number one. Followed by Age of Imprisonment is number 2. Duskbloods is number 3. Fast Fusion number 4. Survival Kids number 5. Dragon Drive number 6, and Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour number 7. Oh, I didn't even talk about Bravely Default Flying Fairy Remaster. Put that up there in like the top 5, and then bump everything else down.
Okay, in the top 5.
Yep. Out of that list. What about you, Chris?
I'm just gonna have to say it. Number
1, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour.
A Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, please. Throw it in the trash. No. I think the one I'm looking forward to the most is probably the one of these games, the one I'm probably going to spend the most time with. I'd say number 1, believe it or not, hear me out, is going to be Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, and then Duskbloods after that. And then I'm also looking forward to Bravely Default, but I do want new experiences, so I'll go with Kirby Air Riders. And then Fast Fusion. Golly. And then, yeah, of course, Survival Kids.
Of this list that you've got going, because I know you try to get as many games as you can from the developers as you can, so that way you can do some stuff over on your YouTube content. But of these games, if all of them told you we were not going to give you a code so that way you can review it over on your YouTube channel, what of these games are you most likely to actually spend your hard-earned money on?
Hyrule Warriors and Duskbloods.
Yeah, I would agree with both of those takes 100%. What about the sheep? No, I would 100% agree with both those takes. I think Duskbloods for me, and then probably Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster. Legitimately, those two games hit me the hardest in terms of stuff that I greatly enjoy. And it's the thing that I want to experience the most. They're fairly well, not one of them is an entirely new experience. The other one is an amazing experience that I think everybody should get their hands on. I cannot believe earlier in this episode I didn't realize Flying Fairy HD Remaster was just a remaster of the first Bravely Default. I thought it was a prequel. Oh man, that's so bad. It's so bad. But if you're watching on YouTube, please leave a comment and let us know what you thought about the games. What are you most excited and looking forward to out of the stuff that we covered today? And if you're watching here on Twitch, thanks for chatting along while we've been talking about it. We are going to go to the Nintendo Fast Forward, where we're going to be talking about a couple of games that are coming out this week that you should know about. So hang tight, everybody, and we'll catch you right after this bump. Chris, tell the people about the games. What we got?
Oh gosh, we got so many games. There's so many games, so little time. Luckily, I don't have to list off the Switch 2 games because those will be out in like 10 days, not 7 days. So we're going to just go ahead and start with a game that came out today, actually, which is Cattle Country. And this is kind of like a small little indie game that you are running a cattle farm, but there's also like a bunch of like different mini games, and there was a demo during Steam Nexus that I played that I actually enjoyed quite a bit. I don't know, have you ever even seen anything about this game?
I have not. I've not seen anything about this game.
It's basically just a nice little farming game, but then you also have like you're shooting guns and doing things like that, and like building up your town.
Looks like Wild West Stardew.
Right. It's like you got the going into the cave, plus like it's just, another one of these games. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Comes out.
Comes out today. It's out today, and it is $21.24. What an odd price. Until June 17th, and so there is that.
Absolutely awesome. And then we've got one other game that's on the list here. What are we calling this game? What's its name?
I'm pretty sure it's Pipistrello.
Pipistrello, baby.
Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. Did you have a chance? There is still a demo on the eShop right now to play this game. Have you played it at all?
I have not. When you posted this in the fast forward, this is my most look forward to game out of the stuff that's on here. This game looks awesome. Like it looks so good.
But yeah, the demo was fantastic. I played the demo. I played it originally on Steam Nexus and then on Steam Deck, and then played it on the Switch, and it was enjoyable there as well. But yeah, this is $19.99, and it comes out on May 28th, so it'll be out tomorrow.
I love its art style. It gives me like Mina the Hollower vibes for some reason. Without, I mean, it's got a greater like color palette compared to everything that we've seen from Mina the Hollower. But like this game looks really cool. The biggest thing that's gonna hold me back from enjoying it to its full potential is Netist, because he does not like Metroidvanias, and this is a Yo-Yo Vania. So I don't know. Like I think this game is going to be really good and a totally different experience. I like I mean, it looks like chaos. Like I have no clue what's going on in 90% of these, other than he's fighting with a yo-yo, he's doing Frogger stuff at one point, and he's playing a soccer game. Like, what is going on?
Right. The combat is really good. I like the combat, and yeah, like it also does remind me of Mina the Holler. But Mina the Holler, another great game that could potentially come out this year. We don't know. We don't know.
We're hoping.
I'm hoping at least. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we got your yo-yo. Whoa.
I am a yo-yo.
We got Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. Do you think that will come to the Nintendo Switch?
Yeah, I do. I think it'll be the first cloud-based game coming out on Nintendo Switch too.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. Game key card is what I really mean. It'll be a game key card coming out on Nintendo Switch too.
Yeah. So a physical. So you're basically saying it's going to get a physical release.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to get a physical release that you have to download. But I don't know. Like, I hope it does, because I haven't played it yet, and everybody else keeps singing its praises, and I know I would love it. It's a JRPG. Like, come on. It's got Daredevil in it. Come on. Like, what is there to not like about it? So, I want to do Clair Obscur. I think it's going to be good. That does bring us to... We got a couple more topics still yet to go. And before we throw it to the outro and the extra Nintendo news segment, we have a game show segment that we call Pixel Minute, or Pixmin for short.
Yeah, don't forget the show this time.
Hey, I don't need to give you any bonus time. Hang on one second. Let me just get the camera going real quick before I even get going on this. For those who don't know, Chris has exactly 1 minute to guess the exact title of a video game that is going to be highly pixelated and slowly reveal itself over the course of 60 seconds. The more time he has on the timer, the higher his score will be. So if he does not guess it before it fully reveals itself, he gets nothing. 0 points. No points. Nothing. What did you get? You got 34. You got 34 points last week, right? Yeah, 34 points last week. And then the week before that, you got 48 points. So
yeah.
You do the math. I'm not keeping track of your points. You need to tell me what your points are. I can always look back later.
What?
But what? But I don't know what you're going to use those points on. We'll just we'll say you can use those to buy favor. Yeah, redeem them today. But Chris, are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And chat, feel free to play along. This is a good segment.
Play along. I got the video, your video, in full screen, so I can't even see the chat.
Heck yeah, look at you go. All right, here we go.
Pixmin. What the heck is this? Is this a Legend of Zelda game, or is it Undertale? No. No. What the heck? It looks like an RPG of some kind.
You might be on the track.
Is it Dragon Quest?
You're getting there.
Dragon Warrior?
It is in fact Dragon Warrior. It is in fact Dragon Warrior. The very first one, Dragon Warrior for the NES. Congratulations! Look, you did a good job. You did a really, really good job.
Thank you very much.
Do you see I edited your name into the game? Super Nintendo had attacks.
Yeah.
Man, congratulations! Another 33 points on the board. Another 33 points on the board.
I thought it was one of the first ones because it looked like the battle was in first person.
It unfortunately is not in first person, but it is indeed a Dragon Warrior game. I was like, you were on the right track when you when you said Dragon Quest,
right?
Which we eventually got Dragon Quest games, but this is Dragon Warrior for the NES. So congratulations, Chris.
Thank you. No one's keeping track of my points. I got 789. I mean, I'm doing great.
So bad. So
Wonderful.
bad.
Thank you very much. No.
Oh man. Well, listen, we have a little bit of extra Nintendo news on the outro here. There's nothing new on the My Nintendo front of news. Mario icons have rotated yet again for NSO Play and Redeem icons. So if you go play some Mario games, you get to redeem to get some icons on there. Game Boy Color, and the GBA family of systems will be coming out as icons tonight at some point once the maintenance is over for Nintendo. If you missed out on the N64 and the NES Famicom icons, say goodbye to Rob the Robot. You can no longer get him because they're performing maintenance right now. So really, really, really big problem if you were trying to get that stuff. As a reminder, the Yoshi's Story and Donkey Kong Country 3 Dixie Kong's Double Trouble icons are still available until June 2nd. Play 30 minutes of those games. Collect some icons, 10 platinum points apiece, essentially. To be able to get those. Square Enix has thrown their hat in the sales ring this week with a Dragon Quest sale on the topic of Dragon Quest. So go run, buy it. Dragon Quest XI Echoes of the Elusive Age at 50% off. It's $19.99 right now. So maybe one of the best ways to play Dragon Quest XI. It's like a super special edition, has 2 different soundtracks. Really, really, really beautiful, awesome game. I love that game. Couple more things here. Nintendo Today updated and no longer allows screen recording in their app. So if you are trying to document everything that they post on their app, you're gonna have to pull out a phone and record with the secondary phone on the Nintendo Today app, because you cannot do it otherwise. In the app, though, they did share some details on changes coming to the Nintendo Classics, the Nintendo Switch Online app things that are going on. So you do get access in the N64 app. If you have a Nintendo Switch 2 rewind features, you also get a CRT filter that can be applied that's exclusive to the Switch 2. One thing that is not exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2 that I'm surprised wasn't there from the beginning is button remapping and being able to see the controls right on the screen. But they do have those going on to onto both systems. So Switch 1 and Switch 2, you'll be able to do button remapping for Nintendo 64 games, which is a pain if you don't have the N64 Joy-Con.
Some late breaking news.
Hit me with it.
Animal Crossing got an update.
Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing New Horizons. What so far all it says in terms of what it does is just improves compatibility for multiplayer sessions between Switch 2 and Switch.
Hey, let's go. That's freaking awesome. That is good news, especially considering I dove into it. But speaking of, I haven't seen Susie in the live chat tonight. We've missed her. Yeah, we've missed her. We did too many shows on different days. She doesn't know when to show up now.
She's taking a rest.
A couple more things here. There is an updated list. Speaking of compatibility notes, there is an updated list of backwards compatible games for Switch 2, Snagging Doom Eternal, Pizza Tower, Ender Magnolia, Bloom in the Mist. But they did go on to confirm that the following apps will not work on Nintendo Switch 2, and that is Hulu, Crunchyroll, Abema, and InkyPen. And there was one other one. I'm not familiar with Abema and InkyPen, but obviously we all know Hulu and Crunchyroll, so like it's going to be sad you can't watch your animes on Nintendo Switch 2.
InkyPen is like
as of writing.
Comic reader.
Okay. I didn't know that. That's cool. I didn't even know that it existed on Switch 1. I'm going to have to download it. We'll find out. We'll find out about it.
Yeah.
And then
get on Switch 1 because you're not getting on Switch 2.
The final thing here.
But YouTube, I guess, you'll still be able to use that on there?
Yeah, they haven't said that's not going to work. They haven't said that yet. So we'll see. We'll see. Final thing here. Chris let me know right before we were going live. Nintendo Music update features the Splatoon 1 soundtrack. The one from Wii U, and there are 21 tracks that got added to the Nintendo Music app, so if you want to listen to any of that stuff, you can do so by logging into your Nintendo Music app and listen to the Squid Sisters do their thing. So
yes, indeed.
Chris, you have anything else you wanna add before we start linking out to social media?
Yeah, let me tell you something. You know what's kind of wild?
What's wild?
Nobunaga's Ambition Awakening Complete Edition is $69.99. That's wild. And then they got the Digital Deluxe Edition, the collector's set, which is $110.
So dumb. So dang dumb. Oh man, we live in a society, man. We live in a society. I don't think it's gonna get any better or any worse. Just to be completely honest, right now with video games.
Switch 2 exclusive. It's only coming to Switch 2 and Steam. So.
Let's go. Chris, where can they find you, my good friend?
Super Nintendo on pretty much everything.
Yep.
How about you? Where are they finding you at?
Nerdwire plays on pretty much everything. I'm trying to beat Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time before Switch 2 launches.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a big push.
Good luck.
Next week on Tuesday, we are doing a mega episode. Okay, and this is going to be your Switch 2 buyer's guide. Everything that you should be looking to try to pick up on day one, everything that you might want to wait to look at and see how it does on day one, and then everything you should absolutely avoid at all costs spending your hard-earned cash on day one for Switch 2 launch. We do only have one more episode until Switch 2 is out. Nolan brought it up right in the live chat. Just one more Nintendo Rewind until Switch 2. So if you guys are curious about everything that you should pick up or skip or maybe just wait and see, we're going to have our buyer's guide episode available on Tuesday. We're doing it live, baby. Come on over, hang out with us. We're going to be live at 9 p.m. next Tuesday instead of 9:30 because there's going to be a lot to talk about. There's going to be a lot of things that you can buy, that you can snag, and we've got to talk about it all. So come hang out with us 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Tuesday. We love your faces. Here are links to all of our other social media garbage that you can go and find. And remember, we're live typically every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except for next week and last week and the week before that. But, you know, we'll get back on track after Switch 2 is launched. I promise you. But we love your faces. Remember, please be kind and rewind, and we will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.